do the best we can. Actually, what you're about to see is about 600 slides. 10 minutes. And Michael Collin over here seen them before, so, but there's some new ones in there too. It's actually more than the last time. So, yeah, we can go ahead and get started. Just roll it. This is the early years. I purchased the last remaining farm in Milwaukee in 1993, and this is what it looked like in those days. And these were some of the kids that I worked with. They were over 30 years old now. Wow. And this was some of our early attempts at composting, because if you're going to do urban agriculture, composting, you can keep rolling, is one of the second most important thing, I think, in terms of being able to get food to folks. Because my feeling is that you keep rolling. These are the greenhouses that were built in the late 1920s. This is a 19th century farm. And we do, these were some of the original kids back in those days in the community. And part of the work that I do is really about engaging communities as the first thing. If you're not able to do that, just from a social justice standpoint, if you're not able to get the community involved, then you can't really move forward. So that's where I spend a lot of my time, and it takes a long time to be able to engage community. Then we started doing aquaponics on a small scale like this, and you'll see how this facility has changed. We do research, education, and pretty large-scale production. Back in those days, we grew a lot of bedding plants, because that's the type of greenhouse it was. And we were able to use those plants to pretty much decorate the city of Milwaukee in some of the stressed neighborhoods. And I work with a lot of young kids and teach them how to get connected to the soil, because we're all connected to the soil, whether we realize it or not. And it's a very powerful thing for these young people. And one of the things that we did was that through hands-on education, as these kids had problems with reading and writing, and it really improved their education by being in a hands-on way, to use their hands, and then they would be more inspired to dig deeper and want to know more. And their grades improved, and stuff that they're using in the Milwaukee school system today. And I also work with the juvenile justice system. Some of these kids had done some pretty awful stuff, and we would put compost by their facility, and they would start giving back to the community by selling some of their produce and giving away some of their produce. And then we would decorate communities, and crime would be reduced because people would start paying attention to things in the community, and criminals would go away. A lot of break-ins would stop. And this would produce jobs for some of these young people in the summertime. We'd take vacant lots where gang leaders would hang out with drug dealers, and I call these flower explosions back in those days. And we would take a vacant lot in one day and turn it into something like this. And our kids would take care of it. And then we'd have folks from out of town, from native villages, and from Inglewood, where there was a murder a day. And in 1995, the Journal Sentinel wrote a front page story about me doing this work, and it kind of exploded into what it is today. So this takes us into the turn of the century, and Run Power really starts growing in terms of what we do with these people. This is how the facility looks today. Next. We're powered by a lot of solar, a lot of renewable energy systems, solar cell panels. We also have a solar hot water system that we put in this year. We also have an anaerobic digester to take solid food waste and turn it into acetic acid. We're one of the only multicultural, multi-generational organizations that's led by a person of color. So our whole thing is about multiculturalism and the power of that. And if you come to our place, you'll see that within our staff. We have 50 employees now. And these are faces of some of the people that come to our workshops. We do workshops from January through June. And folks come in from all over the world to learn in a hands-on way how to grow year-round, how to be able to grow this good food that is really the most important thing in our lives, is food and water, of course, too. But it's the thing that really helps build communities, and we can't have sustainable communities without a strong food system in our communities. Keep going. And it's all about local food. Developing this local food system that's real, that's an inspiration to people that want to go out and start their own food system. And of course, composting is a very important piece to be able to take the waste from these guys who think they're green and operate these big trucks that rumble through our. So we're in competition with them to get that waste. This year we'll do 22 million pounds of food waste. And part of that is developing the relationships with the folks that have the waste. Keep going. Brewery waste, wood chip, moldy hay from some of our farmers, fruits and vegetables that come actually from California that never get out of boxes. And then we compost, this is right in the city. We get over 1 million pounds each year in the city. Now we have a large composting operation working with the Metropolitan Sewage District at their sewage treatment plant. We have over a 200-acre facility. And then we teach folks how to do it. And this is kind of an approved bin nation. And then we have the finished product about eight months later that we grow our food in, because all of our soil in the cities or rural areas and suburban areas is contaminated, so we have to grow new soil. So that's the reason that we're doing so much soil in Milwaukee and other places around the country, our regional training centers around the country. And once we have that, then we can do vermicomposting and create worm castings, which is the best organic fertilizer. And we do this year-round. These worms are another aspect of our some more employees. So instead of having 50 employees, we have millions of employees. And they break down the compost into, like I said before, vermicompost, worm castings. And people and especially kids get very connected it's one way of engaging them. It's that moment of engagement. Even guys like that, I'm going to get to it. You thought I was kidding when I said I had 6 minutes. But I wanted to give you a taste of what we do. We do this on a daily basis, 365 days a year. We grow, we turn it into compost tea as well. We do it throughout the winter. We also do aquaponics. We have these aquaponics systems, if you want to stop there for a second. These systems, 10,000 gallon systems, they're not heated by hot water, solar hot water. We get the glycol up to 300 degrees, and it goes into a heat exchanger, and we pump water out of the systems into the heat exchanger. So we save about 70% of our fossil fuel use by using those solar panels. Next. And these systems cost a fraction of what commercial systems cost. We are using the plants as a way of getting rid of the nitrogen. Here our staff is putting in 10,000